Porn companies are robbing your children of future success. What's that mean? It means your child's future has a price tag to these guys. Number one, what porn does is essentially it messes with the reward system in your child's mind. So your prefrontal cortex, right? That's responsible for regulating your impulses, your ability to control them, right? So if you're up late and you're like, oh man, like I want to watch the next Stranger Things episode or whatever, your prefrontal cortex is going to tell your brain, hey, wait, you got work tomorrow. It's midnight, go to bed, dude. And that's called delayed gratification. And what porn does is it causes your brain to not be able to practice delayed gratification. That's a big deal because delayed gratification, it's a big predictor of future success in children, right? If you have children who are able to practice that, they're going to be more successful as adults versus the kids who can't, right? So this is the famous marshmallow study, right? Everyone's heard of this. A researcher gives a kid a marshmallow, says, hey, kid, I'm going to walk out of this room for 15 minutes. I'm going to come back. If you can wait to eat the marshmallow for when I get back, you're going to get rewarded with the second marshmallow, right? So a kid has a situation where I can do something immediately and not have a good future, or I can wait and forbear this pleasure and have a better future, right? The kids that were able to forbear and practice delayed gratification, turns out 20 years later, they had much better SAT scores than the kids that couldn't do that. So in essence, these porn companies, they're profiting from stealing your kids' future success. Number two, porn websites target kids. It's no secret that any good drug dealer wants to target kids, right? They have an interest in getting kids addicted to their substance when they're young and vulnerable. Porn's no different. I've shown you this meme from 2019 that Pornhub shared. Essentially, it's making fun of the fact that as soon as you walk out of your house, your kid's probably looking at porn. They want to normalize that behavior. And why wouldn't they? It's great economically for them. Get them addicted while they're young. Get them addicted before they know any better. This has to stop. And even if they're not targeting your kid, porn is easily accessible by your kid. You might be thinking to yourself, well, how do they know how to find these websites? There's 4 million of them. That's 12% of the internet. They're not hard to find. Just get a search engine, type in something not good, and boop, there they are. Even if they're not targeting your kids, their inactivity, their inability to act is just as detrimental. Number 3, the law is catching up to this. Kansas and other states are deciding to take action. What they're doing is they're passing laws that require porn websites to verify the age of their users. This sounds pretty reasonable given how addictive and detrimental porn is. We do this with all sorts of other things like alcohol. Your child just can't waltz into an alcohol store and get some beer or whatever. Like, they have to show ID, They can't walk into the supermarket, buy some cigarettes, they got to show ID. They can't get a tattoo without showing ID, It's crazy that we haven't asked the same of porn companies. So what these laws do is they say, hey, look, you need to figure out a way to verify the age of people who are coming onto your websites. This has to be reasonable. And that way we can keep porn out of the hands of kids, or at least make it much harder for kids to get porn. So what these bills usually do is they require a kid to maybe have like a user of pornography to have a government-issued ID and like a digital wallet or something like that, or they can verify the age of the user through a third party. Essentially, what they're doing, it as a nutshell, is just think of it like you're going to a liquor store, you want to buy liquor, you show them ID. Same principle here. And if these companies don't do that, well, in some states, they're subjected to criminal fines. In others, they're civil fines. In Kansas, it's a civil fine of no less than $50,000. That's right, these damages are statutory, plus attorney's fees and plus actual damages. So that means if you're a parent, your kid has watched pornography, the Kansas law gives you standing to sue on your child's behalf for no less than $50,000. That puts a little teeth in the bill and lets these companies know, hey, verify the ages of your user. Please, we don't want our kids in Kansas looking at this stuff. Number 4, what do I do now? Take action. First and foremost, talk to your kid. It's a tough thing for them to admit, and it's a tough thing to be caught looking at. It's embarrassing. A lot of kids nowadays, they're not going to forget the first time they had to come out to their parents and tell them that they were addicted to porn. It's a big deal. Talk to them. Make sure they're okay. Make sure they understand what they're looking at was bad and, not what they should be doing. Make sure you talk to your kid and make sure they understand what they were watching and how that's not representative of reality. Then once you've done that, make sure you preserve some evidence like browser history and perhaps the time and date that they were able to access pornography, and think of the other kids that are going through the same thing. Your family is not alone. I promise you that. Every family with young boys, young girls, they're going through these struggles now. I have a son. He's little, so obviously this isn't an issue in our household yet. What I would love is a future where this stuff is like alcohol, where, if he's 12, he can't just march down to the liquor store and get alcohol. Now, can he? It's going to be hard. If that happens, that store's in trouble. I want porn to be the same thing. I want it to be hard for him to access pornography. I do not want it to be as prevalent as it is today amongst children. Obviously, adults can do what they want, but kids, they shouldn't have this stuff so accessible. That's the future I want. If your family is going through this, call Man White and Tanksley. We can help. We will be discreet. We understand that this is embarrassing, that this could be humiliating. We will keep your kid's name out of this. We will keep this just between us. Go to manwyatt.com today and contact us. Ask for Josh. I'll help.